ripple effect thanks to Solidarity Community Federal Credit Union. My name is Jessica Osbrook. This is Kim Graves. Thanks for joining us today.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Happy to be here with you, like always.
Oh, always. My partner.
That's right. Solidarity Sisters.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
We love it.
How are you doing? Everything going good?
Everything's going great.
Yeah.
Everything's going great, especially as we get ready. We're preparing for those holidays.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it. But not everybody looks forward to the holidays sometimes, Kim.
Yep. But guess what?
What?
Goodfellows can help you out.
Yeah, let's talk about
Yeah,
Goodfellows.
let's talk about Goodfellows. So, I am very involved with Goodfellows, and I have a special guest here, John Wiles. He is also involved with Goodfellows. Not just involved. He's been with Goodfellows for over 50 years.
And don't let
Is that
Kim,
right?
Kim has been with Goodfellows for 35. So
Yeah,
85 years of volunteering for this organization between the two of you. That's amazing.
And if you don't know anything about Goodfellows, John's going to give us some history, and then we'll go into a little bit more detail about this program. It is a non-for-profit. We do help families of Howard County. We help the families provide Christmas for their children. So why don't you give us a little bit of history about Goodfellows, John?
Well, the Goodfellows is the oldest program for our Christmas program for children in Howard County. Kokomo Tribune employees founded Goodfellows in 1911.
Wow.
And so then up to about 1980, the Goodfellows was directed by employees of the Kokomo Tribune. And then when the Tribune was sold to an international corporation, the new publisher of the Tribune, Arden Drager, he formed a nonprofit organization and secured Gene Lucian, who was Center Township trustee at the time, to direct Goodfellows program. And Gene was the director for 34 years.
Wow.
And then because of illness, Gene had to retire from Center Township and also Goodfellows. And so we've involved, again, in 1980 with a nonprofit. We have a all-volunteer board. And we like to say nobody's paid. And we don't have a building.
That's
We
right.
don't.
Except for we have Solidarity's meeting room. So
We
thanks
work out
to
of our
Kim.
cars and our houses and
So it, but it evolved when it was with the Tribune. The Tribune people would provide clothes sizes, and then the Tribune would package the clothes up, and also toys. And then in the 60s and early 70s, the National Guard would deliver those packages on Christmas Eve.
Oh.
And it was quite a community event. And then with the cutback in the military budgets in the 70s, the National Guard had to withdraw from community projects. And so that's when Goodfellows transitioned into providing vouchers and people going and shopping at specific times.
Now, we talk about Goodfellows, and it's kind of synonymous. We also talk about Cops for Kids
Yes.
and a couple other things. How have we interwoven those? How did those different programs melt into the Goodfellows program?
So over the years with Goodfellows, first of all, most of our funding comes through the We Care program. And I don't know if everybody's familiar with We Care, but We Care starts their fundraiser by the auctioning of the Christmas trees. And when they do the auctioning of the Christmas trees, that funding goes to different organizations. And Goodfellows is one of the recipients of that funding.
That's great.
Then they have their auction in December, and then the money that they raise over that weekend, they also hand out that money to those different organizations. Goodfellows is another recipient of that. When Goodfellows, which we continue to do, what we do is we have families that apply. In this process, we were approached by the FOP, the Cops for Kids program, and they were in a situation where they needed assistance with their program. So we were already taking on a large amount of kids, and all we did was make an agreement with them that yes, we will support your program, but then the children get the experience of shopping with a police officer.
I love that because sometimes
So,
people don't always have positive interactions with the police.
Right.
And this is such a good way at a young age to form that relationship. And they're here to help us.
which was a win-win. It was a win-win for the families, for their kids to have that interaction. It was also a win-win with the Toys for Tots because we teamed up with the Toys for Tots. I'm trying to think how many years ago. It's been 15 years
At
ago.
least 15.
So Toys for Tots jumped on board and they are providing toys to all of our recipients. So if you're in the Cops for Kids program, if you're in the Goodfellows program, then the children will receive toys from Toys for Tots, which is an amazing thing because with Goodfellows and the Cops for Kids, we are providing the money that we receive, we're providing clothing for all of those children. And it's from the ages of 0 to 18. The kids that are 16 to 18 must be in school and in order to even be in our program. Every year the numbers seem to continue to grow more and more. And we only look at families that are at 138% below poverty level. So that means that there is a lot of great need when they go and they apply. And they're just receiving Christmas assistance. And that's a lot for a parent to reach out and say, hey, I need help.
Do you remember how many people you served last year?
We had, it was over nearly 1,900 children.
Okay,
Yes.
We provided clothing to nearly 1,900 children and nearly 700 families.
Yes.
700 families in our community at least are living at 138% lower than the poverty level. Safe to
Correct.
say that, right?
That is safe to say, yes. And we do have another option. So the other option is adoption, and which is great. If your company, your church, or your family decides that they want to adopt a child, then you have that option. You can contact us and we do a background check. What you're able to do is shop for the child, buy them clothing, buy them some toys, and then deliver it to their family before Christmas. And of course, we ask that you wrap the gifts. We also ask that you provide the family with a meal for Christmas.
I like that.
We've had some companies fill up the whole pantry full of food. We've had some companies go in and provide enough for a Christmas meal, whatever you choose to do. We also have had some companies provide for the parents, which is not a requirement at all. That's entirely up to them. We do set a dollar amount on what we feel is right, what they should spend for clothing and also on toys.
Keeps it fair,
It
right?
keeps it fair. So if you work for a company that you actually want to adopt a child, we can make that option available. We have some parents that don't want to go out and shop. They don't want to take their kids out. So this is another option for you, for them to be adopted. So there's so many different choices and there's so many different things that we can do, and the need is great in the community.
Mm-hmm.
So we started the application process October the 15th, and it runs through October the 31st. And you can go to our website to apply at www.goodfellowskokomo.org, or you can call our phone at 432-1143. If you're not able to apply on the computer or go somewhere or apply online or apply on a phone, call our phone number, and we do have somebody that will come to you and take a paper app, because we want to make sure that not everyone has a computer capability,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to be able to offer that option. So and just so
Do
you
the
know,
best you can.
yeah, you
Yep.
got to do the best you
Sometimes
can.
you meet people right where they are.
Right. And, it isn't just going in and taking an application, and John can jump in here. There is so much behind the scenes to this program.
Right. We started actually probably in the 90s when we didn't have as many. You have cycles of poverty.
Oh, sure, especially
And so
with
it
the
goes
big
up and down. And
corporations.
so in the 90s, We Care was bringing in a lot of donations. And so we had extra money that we didn't spend on the Christmas program, and so we established endowments.
Great
And
idea.
this is where the scholarships we
Okay.
established, and it was over a period of years of building up the funds. But at Ivy Tech, there's an endowment there, and there we got notice they gave out 6 scholarships last year. And then we established, initially it was called, I believe, Destination
Yes.
Education at IUK. And we established, and that was with the Community Foundation. And but then Indiana University Kokomo, they stopped that program, and so but we went back to Community Foundation and established a scholarship then for college students. We established an endowment, our own endowment, for high school students.
Great.
And with that endowment, we give out 2 scholarships per school in Howard County. So
Wow.
that 2 $1,000 scholarships.
Every school.
Every school.
Every school.
Wow, that's
Every school.
incredible. Good
All
job,
5.
guys.
Yeah. And now the criteria, we established criteria because initially when we were just awarding 1 or 2 scholarships, when we would present the scholarships, the student wouldn't know what Goodfellows is. We'd ask them, they didn't have a clue. And they didn't know who Gene was, and so we established criteria that they, number 1, have to volunteer 1 night for Goodfellows, and 2, they have to write an essay. And the essay is, what is Goodfellows? It's not a pizza place. It's not a mafia group. And
People think that.
Sometimes we think we
Hang
are,
on
but
a
we're
second.
not.
What are you 2 not telling me?
Yeah, we can't talk about it.
and you walk in, people and say, "Hey, you got pizza?"
Yeah.
But and then they have to, because the scholarships for the seniors, they have to are in memory of Gene Lucian and Kay DeLuise, who was a longtime board member and also a counselor at Kokomo High School. And Kay was established at Kokomo High School, the Magic Closet.
Still there, isn't it?
Still there.
Still there.
And that's where students can go. And when they need clothes, toiletries, and things like that, and it's anonymous. People don't know where it's actually at, so it's not.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Secret club.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean,
Kokomo.
they don't want to bring the embarrassment to the
I
child that
absolutely-
needs assistance, so
Yep.
they
Yep.
try to keep it discreet. But
And then the schools and they select the recipients. We don't.
Right.
I just send the note and say, okay, here's the list of volunteers for the students. Usually we have, out of the 5 schools, we'll have between 35 and 40 students volunteer.
And volunteering is amazing for Goodfellows. You're doing the best part of Christmas when you volunteer
Yeah.
with Goodfellows.
Oh, yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
fun, and you just really makes you feel thankful for what you have and thankful that you get to help people. So thank you guys for doing all this so we can have the fun of helping people.
Yeah, well, we need the volunteers. And
We
so on our website, there's a place there where they can volunteer, they can put their name in and contact, or they can contact me. My phone number,
John's phone number's
Great.
out there
Seven-
everywhere.
765-438-9545.
I don't know if you want to put that out there.
Yeah, but we need volunteers.
Yeah.
We're just recruiting volunteers right now.
I just told Kim when I walked in, I said, I want to be at 685 on the distribution day because I got to be there a few years ago and we got to give away a bike for a mom for her child, and it was amazing. It was so wonderful.
That's December 13th.
Yes.
Is
So December 13th is when we do toy distribution, and December 14th is when the Cops for Kids program is. We started buying toys in January of this year. So we started buying toys in January. We had some toys that we were purchased in February, and it's amazing. You would just be surprised how many toys we have. Bikes, scooters, and then we have those all storaged away. But in order to get ready for this year, we start in January and February. Now, I just want you to know, big shout out to Kohl's. because Kohl's makes our program so financially feasible to be able to do some of the stuff that we do. They, when we go in and shop, and this is where the volunteers come into play. I mean, the volunteers come in, they may have to shop with a recipient that walks in the door. They may have to help them pick out clothes. They may have to pick out clothes for somebody that can't shop. They may have to straighten clothes. They may have to help at the checkout area. So, I mean, 109 volunteers last year. Not only did they work at Kohl's, but they helped with the toy distribution. And I'm not talking just a few toys here and there.
It's like
I'm
a toy
talking
castle.
it's
amazing.
It's amazing. It's a whole toy gymnasium.
The toy world.
Yeah. And that is because of the Toys for Tots program and the Marines.
Well, and it's
And
not just like
it's
there's like Legos and bikes and all sorts of great
it's
toys.
amazing, what they do for this community. And most of the Toys for Tots guys, what they do, they cover 7 different counties, and they go out and they buy the toys, and then they drop them off at those other counties. In Howard County, they actually physically walk around with the parent and pick out the toys. They don't have to do that.
Are they
do
in
it.
uniform?
Yes, they are.
Wow.
This is a Marine Corps unit up there,
Grissom.
stationed at
They're
Grissom.
stationed
Right.
at Grissom. So they have a warehouse full of toys right now. And once we give them our numbers, and our numbers are climbing daily, as John and I were talking before
What did
we
you say,
came
like
in.
183 missed calls the other day?
Yeah, that's just one day. This is one day. So as of like last night, we're up to 300 applications, and we've only been open for 3 days.
That's incredible.
Yeah, for 3 days. So the guys at the base, we have a certain cutoff date, and then we let them know exactly by gender, the age of the children, and then they go on a big shopping spree.
How fun.
And they do it locally. I mean, they'll go to Walmart, they'll go to Meijer, they'll go to the dollar stores, and they're buying everything locally that's going back to the community locally. So, I mean, it's not only about Goodfellows helping Howard County, kids. It's everybody that's here, volunteering. It's the scholarships, it's Kohl's, it's EMA, it's UAW 685. It's the local groups that adopt. It's the Cops for Kids. It's not just the city cops. It's the county ones. It's the state police. It's the DNR. I mean, they're all there. And, we have breakfast that's donated. We have donuts that are donated. We have people that are making hats and gloves and scarves and donate those and give those back to the kids. So it takes a large group of people. It takes a village to make this work. And it's working. And it has been working.
Besides volunteering, what do you need from us?
Well, I mean, right now we're in our Red Bull mode. Like we're going full speed ahead. So anybody that wants to volunteer, anyone that wants to apply with an application, anyone that wants to make a donation, they can go to our website. And you can go to our website at www.goodfellowskokomo.org. If you want to learn about our history, it's also on our website. If you want to learn about the facts of what you need to apply, it's on our website. If you want to learn about the different programs that we have to offer, it's on our website.
Our website, man, it's got everything.
And put out a shout out for college students. I mentioned about the Destination IUK. When we went to our community foundation, that's where the endowment's at. And so we took that program, and just now it's open to any college student.
Right.
And that's at a technical school too.
Right.
But it's the criteria is they got to volunteer.
That's right.
And
the essay, that's not a lot of criteria, you guys. That's pretty easy.
It is,
yeah.
But it does the trick because it gets the word out. And the other thing is that many of our scholarship recipients come back the next year and volunteer. We've had people that Kokomo High School graduate, she went to Ball State, Lexi Hall, and every year she came back And,
love that.
We have the Rodriguez kid. He's
and,
2
yeah,
years
three-
in a
two,
row
yeah.
from Ball State.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And so I mean, they can be away at college and, at a college in Indiana and they come back.
Before we established the
Mm-hmm.
scholarship for college students.
What a great tradition.
They
to
just
start.
came from, they received
Yeah.
a scholarship in high school, and then they just came back. And so, in fact, Lexi's in our community. She's working for Kokomo High School.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
We're glad to have Lexi back. Definitely.
If you, one thing that we are looking for are food donations for the day of our toy distribution.
Okay.
We have 2 guys on our board that are working on that, which is Steve and Dave. If you are interested, because we have to feed those Marines and all of our other volunteers, and we have about 50 to 60 volunteers on the day of distribution, of toy distribution. And we have to feed them from breakfast, lunch to dinner, because we'll be at distribution
Big day.
from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. one day. And I'm sure they'll be there by 7 because they are going to be loading up that gymnasium for an entire week. But in order to get the toys out, it'll be a full day, but we are looking for food donations for that day. You can call that phone number, the Goodfellows phone number at 765-432-1143, and leave a message for Dave or leave a message for Steve that you're interested in donating food, because we got to feed these boys.
Anything
And girls.
in particular?
No, I mean anything that you want to do, donuts and coffee that morning. You want to do lunch, pizza, whatever you want to do, is accepted.
That's great.
Yeah, we've had so many donations in the past that it's accommodated breakfast and lunch, but this year we're going a little bit longer. So we're going to try to squeeze 2 days in, and then we have the Cops for Kids program on the 14th. And let me tell you, Joe Rodriguez, Joanna, is like
From
my
the
other sister.
Kokomo FOP, correct? That's
Yes.
where she's at? Okay.
She's my other sister, I hate to tell
That's
you.
okay. We can be the Solidarity Sisters.
She does amazing job for the FOP. Big shout out to her. We're connected at the hip during this time, and everything that she does to make sure that everything is lined up for their program is amazing. She does fantastic.
It
So
takes a
shout
good
out to
team.
her.
Yeah, it
So,
definitely does.
We have a great village. Everybody's hopping right now. Everybody's phone's blowing up. And John does an amazing job. All of our board of directors do an amazing job. I can't say enough. I mean, they all give like 150%. I think they do, but
And our volunteers come from
Yeah.
organizations like Club Kokomo Roadrunners, Kiwanis, and they do it every year. And Community Health Hospital, we get volunteers from there, volunteers from Midwest Eye out on Dixon Road. And so it's really great. So you don't have to just be an individual. Individual, yes, but if you're in an organization or you work in a place and you want to come out and volunteer as a group, you can do that.
yeah.
Just contact me.
And we can't say enough about EMA.
Oh, yeah.
They're
Always. For everything there they are.
they're amazing. Yeah, they are
definitely
truly
are.
amazing. But
And
we
they've
could
been
talk
with
all,
us for,
ever.
yeah.
They're like our
They were back
everything.
when they were delivering, the National Guard was delivering it.
That's
I mean,
great.
that's how far back it goes.
They're there for every little thing. I mean, they are there bagging. They are there, first thing in the morning. They want to make sure that everything is secure. They are our security. So, and I will share a little story with you. So I did share one yesterday when we were on KI, and I have another one, but this is more family, related. I have a niece, and I said, girl, you have to go with me to this. She goes to Northwestern, and she was like, well, Aunt Kim, I've got to get up. That's like 5 o'clock in the morning is pretty early. And I'm like, you need to go to me with the Cops for Kids program. And she's like, that's early. And I'm like, I'll promise you Starbucks. And she's like, okay, I'll go. I'll go. So she decided to go with me. And her first time there, she was in awe. I mean, her mouth was kind of hanging open. She just kind of walked around and looked. And she was just like, wow, wow. She said that she was kind of shocked a little bit because there were people there that were volunteering that she actually knew that were volunteering. And she was just beside herself that this program even went on and that the people that were in need of it. And at that time, she was a freshman in high school. So she is now a senior. And ever since then, she has volunteered. She's hooked. And it's our tradition to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning for the Cops for Kids program, and she's ready to go. And she always brings a friend with her now. So it's kind of cool that, you know, she's doing this over and over.
How organizations like this last since 1911. I mean, that it's continuing to build that love and that caring for people who might need help.
We had an experience where when people are shopping, regular shoppers, and I had this one person come up to me, and he said, "What's going on here?" And so I explained to him about the Goodfellows program, and he looked at me and he said, "Kokomo people helping Kokomo people." Yep. That's a good program.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's amazing. I mean, there's so many stories. I think we could probably write them all down. And I shared yesterday, I don't know how many times we've been out on a toy buy, and I'll watch people walk up to the guys, the Marines, and ask them, you know, why are you buying toys? And they're like, well, we're buying toys for Howard County. And they'll slip them money.
I love that.
You know, so they can buy more toys, which is really cool what they're doing. So
can we donate toys? Is that something we can do?
The Marines have boxes out in the community.
Right, all over Howard County.
All over, so yes.
And what are you looking for? New stuff? I mean, can
all
it be
new
gently?
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, all new stuff, and ages from 0 to 18 years of age. So, and yes, you call them toys for 18-year-olds, but they're actually not toys. So, I mean, you can do cologne, you know, things of like that an 18-year-old would use. I mean, they use headphones, they use ear pods, things like that. So the Marines go outside of the box. They think about what they would definitely use.
They keep us young, don't they?
Yeah.
That's because they're young.
It's they're young. I know. I mean, they've got me going in so many different directions of different things that I have to do daily. So, but it's fun. It's fun. We love doing what we do, and it's definitely helping the community, and we're all about that. So.
Good job.
Yeah.
To you guys and your team for all the hard work, years and years and years and years of it. We're so proud to have this program in Kokomo. And if you want to learn more about Goodfellows, Kim, where do we go?
You can go to www.goodfellowskokomo.org, or you can give us a call at 765-432-1143.
That sounds great. Applications are open until when?
October 31st. You can go to our website and apply now. If you're not sure what you need, there is a fax page on there, so just pull it up and take a look, but you need to make sure you are a Howard County recipient.
Sounds great. John, is there anything else we want folks to know about Goodfellows?
Yeah, volunteer.
Volunteer. It's going to change your life, especially around the Christmas time. It feels good to do good, and you guys are doing a lot of good. That's why it's called Goodfellows. Thanks so much for watching The Ripple Effect today. I'm Jessica Osbrook. This is Kim Graves. We're from Solidarity Community Federal Credit Union, and we'll see you next week.